Hey, what up, YouTube? It's your boy Iceman Guru, aka Dr. J, back at you with another installment on the High Frequency Only channel, man. So today's video, man, is UNITY. UNITY, that's a unity. So we talking about unity, man. In particular, of course, speaking directly to the African American community, the African community, those of us that of the diaspora here in America. And the reason why I named these different labels is because it speaks to the fact or the idea of why we don't have unity, because we don't know what to call ourselves. You know, anybody that has been robbed of their name and their culture and of their essence essentially has been robbed of who they are. And that's what we see with those of us that are of African descent over here in America. Now, the reason why I wanted to speak on this, and this video might trigger a lot. Shoot, it might even trigger me. But that's the reason why I actually want to actually speak on this today. The reason why I started the High Frequency Only channel was to speak from a perspective and talk at a level where we gain understanding, where we talk about the connections that we have between us as people, and we actually speak maturely and without all that, you know, those ad hominem attacks, as I mentioned before. You will not hear me talk down on anyone. We're going to keep it on the issues, because that's one of my main goals and main reason for starting this channel, because you get it from a lot of other YouTube channels, and I don't speak negatively on nobody. Get your bread, bro. But over here on this channel, this is how I'm going to get it. Okay. Now, I'm coming from a very personal perspective on this one. As I said before, I got many stories. I've been on this planet for decades, got a lot of experience, not only through my personal life, my professional life, coming from colleges and universities, trainings, etc., etc. So I have a lot of different perspectives and experience, coming from the actual streets and from the boardroom, as you can say. And what I've gained from trying to work with people who look just like me is I've getting a lot of pushback. I'm getting a lot of people that talk a good game, but really not about their business. I also get a lot of people that may be doing, you know, fairly well for themselves or be looking to do better. And, you know, they're not willing to actually work with someone like myself or even other people. And I chalk it up to a couple different reasons. One, as African Americans, we have been trained not to trust each other, just like other outside cultures have been trained also to look at us as savages and look at us as, you know, people that's shaking their butt on TV, people who are willing to sell out and do anything for the dollar. Okay. So we've bought into that hype as well as African American people. So we don't trust each other. We talk down on black business all the time. Okay. So when we look to do business with another black person, whether that actually working with them to create or build a business or actually shop with them, whether that's products or services, okay, we don't look at it as the same as we do any other culture outside of our own, which is sad. And I think another reason is just ego. I think a lot of people would like to say, hey, I got out the mud. And a lot of people have got out the mud. But I think that's the reason why a lot of people will either want to do it on their own or kind of stay within their confined circle, because it goes back to the trust. And two is like, hey, I did it. You know, I didn't need that much help, et cetera, et cetera. So my brother Kwame Brown, shout out to Kwame Brown, Bus Life, and Osei Duke Jackson. Shout out to Osei Duke Jackson, man. They spoke on the fact that as black men specifically, we're not able to get to a certain level because we're not willing to work with each other. Okay. Now, we'll work with each other in pockets, right? So we got this group of people, like you got LeBron people working and getting their money. You got Jay-Z people. And then even if we go down to the lower tiers, you got other pockets of brothers, doing their thing. But we have been unsuccessful at collectively in larger units and macro units working together to push our culture forward. So a lot of times, and I'll just bring it back to me for a second, when I'm trying to work with other people, I'm thinking at it from a nation building standpoint. Okay. I'm thinking that, okay, how can we push our culture forward as black individuals, as a black group, as a nation? Okay. So I want to work with my people from a macro level perspective. Okay. Not just thinking about me. Okay. So I understand that I'm not doing it for me. Okay. I got everything that I want. It's not about me. It's for my children. It's for my nieces, my nephews. It's for my friends' children, my friends. It's for those kids that's coming behind me and people that are coming behind me. And then the greater nation overall. All right. So I think a lot of us, we don't think about it from the macro level. We only think about it as an individual. And that also keeps us from unifying and to becoming independent, right? Becoming sovereign, all right? So we are missing the element that we used to have, once again, that tribal element, okay? That communal element, that nation, okay? Now, it's okay, just like in Africa, of course, we have 54 countries, right? So we have 54 nations. So it's okay to have many nations, okay? But here in America, we got a little bit different situation, all right? So we can literally have 50 different nations, a nation for each state, all right? But we can also have more of a sectional north, east, west, south type of situation. Okay. So it's all in how we really approach it, man. But everybody want to go off and do their own thing. And like I said, a lot of it is the lack of trust and the ego part. I would tell you this. I have a very large ego because I understand the type of work that I put in. Not only delivering content with my writing, teaching, speaking, all those type of things. So I have a very large ego. I would not be ashamed to say that. But I also understand that I cannot do it by myself. Everybody understand that because no one got to where they were without somebody else. So in order for us to get to a point where we could stop having all these conversations that are negative, that are centered around destruction, that where we're not trusting each other, where we're constantly, consistently roasting each other online, making songs about each other. I mean, the list goes on and on. We had to get to a point where we can actually unify and think about the nation, think about the brand, right? Because as a nation, we are a brand. It's called an ethnic image, okay? Because a lot of us think negatively about us, right? That is our ethnic image. That is our brand. We have a very tarnished brand, but a lot of it has to do with us as black men and black women. We have to unify our households. We have to unify our friendships that should be business relationships as well as friendships. We have to unify on an economic level, micro and macro. Our families should be business oriented. Okay. We should not be separating economics from social relationships. Because we understand that all of us have to eat in order to survive. So as men, we are a large part of that. Protect, provide. Okay? So this whole idea of us not being unified, we have to hold collectively us accountable. So everybody plays a part. But those of us that consider ourselves leaders, teachers, okay, community organizers, politicians, we have to step up and we have to hold ourselves accountable, and we have to be the voice. And it starts with platforms like YouTube. It starts with book writing. It starts with speakers. It starts with art forms, music, etc., etc. Okay? So there's also a social responsibility component a part of this. So for those of us that actually are going out there, we have a responsibility to be tied to the collective group. We have a responsibility to say, you know what? Whatever it is that I'm putting out here is bigger than just me. It's bigger than just me making money. I got to understand that's tied to the brand, to the ethnic image. So in order for us to be able to unify, we have to understand what we're doing it for, who we're doing it for, and why we are doing it. We have to answer those questions. So I say it start with the men, and then we need the women to back us up, support us. Now, there's women doing great work, but the men are the leaders. But the men are the protectors. All right. And I mentioned this in the previous video. So we can do it. It doesn't have to just stay theory, but we have to start bringing up practical solutions. But that comes with planning. That also comes with trust. And that also comes with the ability to be present and the ability to be vocal and stay out of our emotions. All right. All right, man, we're going to stop. That's a video for today, man. And trust me, this conversation will never stop. You will never stop getting this or hearing this from me. So it's coming. I mean, I'm going to be here. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to keep putting out these types of videos, man. Please keep supporting. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Like the video, hit the bell, comment, all that stuff. I want to hear from you, man. I really do. As always, I am you. You are me. Love always, love eternal. And we out this thing. Peace.